Hello students, once again I Dr. Bindya Sharma welcome you all to the online lecture series on the topic polymers. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the different classification of lubricants. In today's lecture, we will learn about the mechanism of polymerization. Let's begin with the types of polymerization. The types of polymerization is mainly of two types. First, addition and second, condensation. Chain growth polymers, which are also known as addition polymers, are made by chain reactions. Let's understand by taking example of polystyrene. Polystyrene is formed by the simple addition of the monomer styrene as shown in the figure. The second type of polymerization is the step growth polymerization, which is also called as the condensation polymerization. In this condensation polymerization, the two monomers are combined together and a small molecule like the molecule of water, CH4 or ammonia, etc. is eliminated out. For example, the formation of polymer named dacron, which is formed by the combination of dimethyl terephthalate and 1,2-ethane-diol, as shown in the figure. Here, a small molecule of methanol is eliminated. After understanding the types of polymerization, let's now understand the mechanism of addition polymerization. The mechanism of addition polymerization is of three types. First, free radical, and second is ionic, which consists of cationic and anionic. Let's begin with polyaddition of the active free radicals. In the mechanism of free radical, it is followed by three steps, which involves initiation, propagation, and termination. The first step is initiation. Initiation means creation of an active site, that is, the formation of free radical. The second step is the propagation step, which involves the active sites addition to different monomers and thus creating the new active sites, which leads to the elongation or propagation of the polymers. The third and the last step is the termination step, in which the chain growth is stopped by either combination or by disproportionation. In free radical polymerization, usually low molecular weight alkenes undergo polymerization on treatment with small amount of initiators. Let's understand by taking the example of ethylene. In the formation of ethylene from ethene, the first step is initiation, and it can be done by taking small amount of initiators like peroxide, for example, benzoyl peroxide. Here in the figure, it is symbolized by R. The free radical R is initiated in the first step, and this active site or the free radical R, which is formed, it then reacts with the monomer ethylene, and which again acts as an active site. The second step is the step of propagation. The ethylene molecule, which has now become an active site, combines with the another molecule of ethylene, and in the similar manner the monomers of ethylene molecules keeps on adding, and thus the chain propagates or elongates, and the process of polymerization is carried out as shown in the given slide. After the polymerization reaction is completed, the active site, that is the formed free radical active site needs to be stopped or terminated, which is followed by the last step, that is termination. When the reaction is completed and the process needs to be stopped, the termination reaction is carried out. The process of termination involves the combination or the reaction of active site by converting them into inactive. The termination is either carried out by simple combination of two active sites, which is known by the name combination itself, or by the combination of two reactive sites leading to the formation of two different type of molecules. In this case, one molecule formed is an alkene, which contains a double bond, and the other is an alkane. Let's now come to the ionic polymerization. Ionic polymerization includes cationic and anionic polymerization. In cationic polymerization, the initiator is a cation which carries a positive charge, and generally we make use of Lewis acids like AlCl3, BF3, etc. And in anionic polymerization, the initiation step is carried by an anion which has a negative charge over it. For example, butyl, lithium, etc. In ionic polymerization, the chain propagation depends on ionic, the chain propagation step depends on ionic separation, nature of solvent, nature of counter ion. Let's go through first cationic polymerization. In cationic polymerization, first alkene is treated with an acid. Here, the initiator is BF3, and this can be easily understood by taking the example of formation of butyl rubber as shown in the figure. BF3 is a Lewis acid which initiates the step for polymerization, and the rest of the steps of propagation and termination remains the same. Now coming to anionic polymerization. In anionic polymerization, the monomer, in anionic polymerization, the monomer contains an electron withdrawing group like C double bond O, C double bond N, etc. This can be understood by taking the example of the formation of polyacrylonitrile PAN. Here in the figure, the initiator used is butyl lithium, BULI. And as you can see, the rest of the steps remains the same, that is propagation steps or the termination step. Now let us now understand one more specific use of a catalyst named as Ziegler-Natta. Here, Ziegler-Natta is a catalyst which is used for the preparation of polyethylene, that is HDPE, high density polyethylene, polypropylene, etc. It involves the use of Ziegler-Natta catalyst, which is generally a mixture of alkyl derivatives of aluminium and titanium tetrachloride. It allows to make polymers of specific tacticity, and it was discovered by the two scientists, Ziegler and Natta. The polymerization can be easily understood by taking the example of polyethylene by the monomer ethene. The addition polymerization of ethene takes place in a hydrocarbon solvent in the presence of obviously Ziegler-Natta catalyst at a temperature of about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius under a pressure of 6 to 7 atmosphere. And finally, we get the polymer high density polyethylene. This HDPE high density polyethylene is used for the manufacturing of buckets, dustbins, pipes, bottles, etc. It is an inert and more tougher and harder than normal polyethylene. So here, with this, we come to an end of this second lecture. Thank you, students. And in the next lecture, we'll start with the different types of polymer